Hello and welcome to this new channel dedicated to cybersecurity. This channel is about ethical hacking. So please be aware we will not cover any illegal topic. Everything I will be sharing on this channel is for education purpose only. So please, whatever you see in my videos, you should only try them on your own machines and network. Do not try this on anybody else's machines without a written authorization. Please note that if you attack a machine that is not yours, you may risk legal actions. Okay, so far we are going to use the most popular Linux distribution named Kali Linux. So we are going to use Kali Linux inside a virtual machine. So far we can use VirtualBox as it is open source and free. So I am going to show you how to install VirtualBox and how to install Kali Linux inside VirtualBox as a virtual machine. I know that YouTube is full of tutorials about how to do this, but as we are going to live a cybersecurity journey together, I'd rather also show you a fast tutorial on how to set up VirtualBox and Kali Linux. So now let's begin. What is VirtualBox? VirtualBox is a software that allows you to virtualize a computer or one or more computer inside your physical computer. This is not magic. Actually, when you virtualize a computer inside your physical computer, you are going to share the physical components between your physical machine and the VirtualBox. So your physical machine may suffer of resource consumption. Generally, it is recommended to use a strong computer when you aim to use virtual machines on them. So what you need to do is to open your favorite web browser and you can type in the address bar virtualbox.pod. Please note that you should always download VirtualBox from the official website. Do not try to download from another source because they may be compromised. Be aware that how the page will appear may not always be identical to the video. So in all cases you need to figure out where is the download button and then click on download. The next step you need to choose on which operating system you are actually. So if you use Windows, you may download the Windows hosts. For Mac, you can use those links, and for Linux you can choose the distribution you are using. So for this video I am using Windows 11, so I will be downloading Windows hosts VirtualBox. For some reasons your web browser may block the download, so you just need to go on the download and force the download. So once you have downloaded the file, you simply double click on it and accept the privilege elevation, and then simply follow the steps by clicking on next. In my case, as it is already installed, I cannot follow the installation. So when the installation is over for you, you just end up the installation and then you can launch the software. Alright, so now that we have VirtualBox opened, we need to download an ISO image of Kali Linux. To do so, you can type into the address bar Kali Linux. You should navigate to kali.org. On the web page, click on download, and here we are going to choose the installer image. In those choices, I recommend you to choose the net installer. Why is that? Because the net installer will install everything up to date and you can choose all the fancy options, and you won't risk to have a virtual machine that might crash after updating the packets. So let's download the net installer by clicking on this link. Just notice that I chose the installer images instead of virtual machine. You can anyway download a ready out-of-the-box VirtualBox, fine, but personally I do not like this option because it comes with a minimalistic graphic interface, and by experience when I install the graphic interface I like, the virtual machine ends up hanging and require times to debug it. Alright, now we have the image, Kali Linux 2025 1C net installer ISO. So let's go and install this as a virtual machine in VirtualBox. So here we are. We're going to click the button New. This will open the virtual machine assistant. So we are going to give a name to the machine. Let's keep it simple. Kali Linux 2025. So now I need to specify the ISO image that I just downloaded. I will go and choose the image, and then I will click on the next button. You can specify the amount of memory you want to give to your virtual machine and the number of processors. And as you can notice, you have and both choices align with different colors: green, orange, red, green, orange. So that means you can use all the resources in the green part without any risk. If you go over the green limit, you may put your physical computer on its knees because you will be using a lot of resources, and that is not recommended. So usually for a Linux distribution, 2 gigabyte of memory would be enough. It is recommended to use 4, and in my case I will use 8. Why? Because I can. It is also recommended to use 2 processors. In my case, I will use 4 because I can. We do not need to enable EFI. That is not required for Kali Linux. Now we can click the next button. So here we need to define the size of the hard drive that will host Kali Linux. Usually I just add one for 125 gigabytes, but you can put a lot less, something like 40 gigabytes can do the job. Do not tick this box because we do not want to allocate the full size on the hard drive. We would like the hard drive to get filled step by step as we use the machine. Now click on next again. Here is the summary of the configuration. If everything looks fine, we can click on finish. We still need to set up the display. So let's click on display, and here we are going to increase the memory to the max. Check also the network and make sure it is NAT, and now press OK. Now we can start the virtual machine by clicking on the start button here. We will get a bunch of messages that we can acknowledge, saying don't show again. So here we are going to process a graphical install. Just press enter. Again, it's saying about the mouse integration. Don't show again. So I recommend use by default the English language, but you can choose your own language if you wish. Continue. Choose your country. I would choose United States, even if it's not my country. Choose your keyboard layout, so there is a layout for everybody. In my case, it's American English. Now give a name to your virtual machine. You can leave the name given by default, or you can just call it Kali. Domain name, it can be home, or whatever you like. Let's be a joker. Full name. So this is to create a user account. It's recommended to use a pseudonym. Do not use your real name in here. This is the account name. Usually it's the same. The little difference that the account name has no capital and the letters. But choose a password for your account. Do not forget it, because you won't be able to access and you may need to reinstall everything. Choose your time zone. I would just take randomly the Pacific. Okay, so here we just leave the guided use entire disk and we continue. Default hard drive, continue, all files in one partition. That's recommended for new users. And anyway, for what we want to do, it is fair enough. So now we can finish partitioning and write changes to disk. And yes, we want to write the changes to the disk. Okay, so now we need to choose if we have a proxy. It's not my case, so I can continue. Alright, so now we have to make a choice about the desktop environment. So by default, it is on XFCE. So if you have a weak computer, I recommend that you keep this option. But now if you have a decent computer with some resources, you can change this option. You can choose between GNOME or KDE Plasma. In my case, I would choose KDE. Be careful, do not install everything, because there will be some issues. So you really need to choose one between the three, and I recommend you tick this box to get everything and then continue. Select the only hard drive in the list and press continue. The machine will reboot. Wait for it to reboot completely. Type your user password. There we are. We have completely finished installing Kali Linux. To help this channel, please subscribe, activate the bell, like, and share this video. Thank you for watching.